Welcome to FCC Supporter Square, the show for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Matt Warman, Boston Brazel, and Mark Suffin.
Hey everybody, welcome to FCC Supporter Square. I'm your host, Matt Warman. Sadly, Mark had a different event. You know how it is, life gets in the way. But look at this, our other host. He decides to show up, and he's got his paparazzi because they're flashing at him. He's really energized and enthused. Ladies and gentlemen, Boston Brazel. How are you doing, Boston?
Good, Matt. Thanks for if you're listening, you probably doesn't make a difference because you just turn on your podcast and click play. But we're recording later than usual, and that's Matt being generous and letting us run late for my sake.
You know, I haven't had rock and roll time for quite some time. Maybe I should get back to it, but hey, better late is better than never. That's what I always say. So let's talk about our last match. We had a home match in the rain, seemingly raining for all week.
Oh my
I
goodness!
think we're up.
What's
Wait,
your lawn look like? Just out of curiosity.
I had to cut my grass on a Tuesday, which first off, I don't usually cut
How?
my grass on
How'd you
Tuesday.
find a break? That wasn't like a mud yard.
I do work from home, and we had 2 days of dryness. It was just enough, literally just enough to between raindrops that I got it cut. And the fun thing is that after I cut my grass, I went for a 7 mile hike in Spring Grove Cemetery. So I'm still recovering from that. Welcome to the podcast. Yes, he is an actual host. He isn't just spot guesting. He's just been busy,
You wouldn't know.
and that's how that works. But that's fine. We that's why we have him here. That's why we have a third host. Otherwise, we would not have a show this week. So I appreciate Boston being the guy to hold the line when Mark has other things to do. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's get on with it. So it was rainy, it was wet, it was a little chilly, but it was mostly good. But our opponent was New England Revolution. Uh, we basically were playing with our line B, line C team, knowing that we had somebody lower in the table. But we came out, ended up with a one nothing win. 3 points is 3 points. What was your assessment of last week's game?
Oh, I really liked what Doyle said in his article this week because he said something like, "If SC Cincinnati can still win with their 4 through 8 center backs, we're doing all right. They're going to be all right later on in the season if they can get healthy." I think the article is actually talking about FCC possibly like buying someone in the summer or whatever. But you have to be encouraged, Matt, that the team, you knew they were going to be beat up. You know, we saw injuries. If you pay attention to the practice reports, it was pretty grim going into the New England game. You see the lineup before New England. We couldn't even fill the bench. Like we put Miazga on there, and the guys, we didn't, like, no one knows if he's ready or not. And so and then even with that, we couldn't fill the full bench out. So FCC, though, on paper, good team, should be able to beat New England. New England, lucky for us because we're beat up, only has one big star player this year. They have a couple good ones, but they're hurt too. So our injury lineup beats New England's injury lineup any day.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about this. We played without Vander, Yu Kubo on or off the bench, Obi, Teenage Hadavi. All of these players.
Robinson.
Robinson. We had like nobody. I tell you what. We have Engel as a wing back, and I've been pretty impressed with Engel. He's been playing really well, but when he played center back, he was like a different beast. He was like channeling Obi because every tackle was with authority and purpose and properly timed, and it was like, oh, it looks like the New England has something going on. Nope, Angle takes it and goes the other way with it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this was great. As you said, with so many people out, so many people just we can't play. And yes, it's the bottom of the tier team, but that's the thing is that if you can win when you were hurt or not bringing out your best game, it's a good day. I mean, think about this. Last year, if we didn't have Acosta last year, we probably draw or maybe lose. I don't know. This year, without Evander, we did have Denke and Santos. Well, here's the thing. All right, I'm going to say this. Santos scores and then has to get out. Right.
Yeah,
He
hopefully
comes
I
in,
haven't I haven't
scores a
heard
goal and says, "I'm out," and it's like, who knows
I
when
haven't
he's
heard,
going to
I
be
haven't
back.
heard how he is, but yeah, we cannot really afford anybody else hurt, can we?
No. And then looking at this week's report, it looks like Teenage Davy is finally back, but
Yeah.
Yuya and Evander were off to the side, so that's not helpful. So I'm trying to figure out where we're going to be next week. But given the rain and the opponent, we did exactly what we needed to do. This team looked really good against a lesser opponent, but missing key pieces on our side. That's what I said the last podcast was
Mhm.
if we had a full complement, I'd say this would be a 2-3-0. But I said 1-0, and that's fine. Get the 3 points and move on. We are now because of I think it was Columbus, or maybe it was Miami. We're only 2 points off the pace, so we actually gained a point by this week. So we're still we have still yet to put our starting 11 in. When I'm considering Miazga a starting 11, we have yet to
Yeah.
put our starting 11 out on the pitch, and
Yeah.
we're what, week 7?
No, you're not wrong at all. I think that's dead on. And then this week I feel like we're playing the same game. The same game because it's like a team that's one above New England. Um has a really good player in Benteke, and we're still going to be a little hurt. They're a little hurt, and the only difference between DC and this New England game is that they just got walloped by San Jose last week.
Well, I just looked at their last 4 matches. Their last 2 road matches, and of course this is a home match for them. But their last 2 home matches was combined 10-2, a 6-1 drubbing by I think it was Orlando. I can't remember. I can't remember the teams, but they got beat 6-1 and 4-1 on the road. The
Yeah,
last 2 home games was a loss to Columbus 2-1, respectable, but a
yeah,
0-0 draw with Montreal. Uh,
yeah. No,
yeah,
DC is
so
not
right.
impressive yet. I mean, that could always change, but as of this year, they're not impressive. Benteke's impressive, but the rest of the team hasn't put it all together.
I know last year when we played them, Benteke went kind of nuts. We lost to DC. I thought it was like 4-2. Acosta brought us back a little bit, and then we gave up like 2 goals quick, and then
Mm,
we scored one, and then they scored one, we scored one, and then it just kind of, I think it was like 4-2 or 5-2. But Benteke kind of beat us up. So given, I don't know what our defense is going to look like, but I would imagine Obi will be back. I think so. I hope
be
so.
huge, huge.
If we can get Obi back and we get Robinson and Hidebe and Flores as our starters and have Haglund on the bench, Haglund's looking great. I mean, if it wasn't for Haglund, this defense would be porous as as a sponge. Uh,
He's
so
brought. I haven't heard anybody really talk about this, so I think it'd be a good point for us. But he's brought some kind of leadership that wasn't there before, in my opinion. Like Robinson's a solid guy, but Robinson wasn't like commanding. Haglund is literally a force, a presence. You can feel it.
you nailed it. I think Haglund having the ability to have been with Cameron and Miazga. I know Cameron is no longer on this team, but both of those, Cameron was the poor man's Miazga as far as I'm concerned. Both kind of the same kind of on the edge player. Definitely the leader of the defense. Really trying to solidify that. Miazga is a level above Cameron as far as I'm concerned, but still the same thing. He's had tutelage of Cameron and Miazga. So when he's back there and Miazga's not there, he knows what to do. Miles Robinson has said he's not that guy. He's a great player. He is
Yeah.
a great player.
Yeah.
And with Miazga saying, go do this, right? He's going to say it once, or he's going to say something. Miazga's going to say something really quick, and Robinson knows what to do, or he's not going to say anything at all, and Robinson's going to know what to do. But Robinson's not the rah-rah guy in telling the other people, hey, you're out of position. Hey, go look at this guy. Watch for this guy making the run, where Miazga does that all the time. Hagelin did that, and you could see that just settle in. You could just see that the defense, when you put somebody who is new to our center back three angle, just do that. You knew he's capable, but like the offense, the defense also needs to gel, and you can't just put players out there because they're used to different systems or different defending systems. So you have to be wary on what you want to do. And you can't just put anybody back there, or somebody's going to be sitting back or way far up the pitch.
Yeah. No, I mean 100%. I think Robinson's your best center back because he's by far the best passer, and he's a good defender. But with Hagelin back there, you actually have a defense that stays together and has some leadership.
The one thing I'm hopeful, in a person, the odd man out in all of this injury stuff, I think, is Denke. We had Orishano and we have Denke, but we had really without Evander, we had nobody to feed the ball. And Orishano is tending to, I like it. I really do like it. He's kind of like a false nine. He's up front, but he'll come back. He'll play left or right. He'll go wherever the flow is going and make some passes, which means Denke's kind of up there by himself. It would be really nice to have a true nine kind of dictate all of that, and have Orishano and Denke making their runs, or being a more forward piece. So Denke's up there being bracketed all the time, and he's not getting the balls. He's not getting service to make a run. So once all of these guys get gelled, like I said, it's going to be May. It may be June because of these injuries before we even see a cohesive 11 penciled in, 3 or 4 weeks in a row. So it's kind of disappointing that Denke isn't scoring as much, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's pulling players out of the way so people like Santos and Buca can score goals.
How much of that's just Pat Noonan ball? Because I mean, the one thing that's immediate improvement this year versus last year is Denke is a guy that, like, Celentano can boot that ball up the field. We saw a couple of those in this last game, and Denke actually collects, boxes out the guy. Like, we haven't had a hold up guy that doesn't that's still good with the ball and can pass it off to the next person. So Denke does that. Then he goes and he makes his run. Right. So we'll just take that play that we all saw. Celentano kicks it to midfield, lands on Denke's knee, gets the ball down, passes it off. He takes off towards goal, and FC Cincinnati hates Pat Noonan ball, hates crosses. And that is what Denke is. You hit it on the head. You have Orishano on one side, still playing a Costa ball where he's going to drive it into the middle. Somehow, some way, he's going to get that ball either passed into the top of the box, or he's going to try to juke his guy and get up to the box. Ingle's probably your only crosser, and he's still figuring it out. So it's just interesting. I think we have this 9 that could use crosses, but we're still playing a Costa ball in some aspects.
Yeah, I think that's where we're half and half, and because we're half and half, because on the practice pitch we don't have everybody out there. We don't have Evander out there, so Evander would be playing that role, and so Noonan's not going to say, Orishano, don't play all over the pitch, because when Orishano plays all over the pitch without Evander, we're a dangerous team. You have to do what you have to do. Unfortunately, we have to correct that at some point during training. You can't do it on game day. You just can't. And people's tendencies are people's tendencies. If you say Orishano, you have free reign to do whatever, he's going to go and do whatever. And he's going to do his step overs, and he's going to lose the ball occasionally, and he's going to beat his man occasionally and get a great shot off. That's just what he does. One or two times a game, he's going to get a great shot off, whether it hits the post or gets the keeper makes a great save or it goes in. It's just kind of how he goes. With Engel playing center back, we had nobody to cross, and that's what Engel was doing. He was hitting some nice low crosses and some cutbacks to people back there. So we're half Acosta ball and half modern soccer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally, 100%. And I mean, I think I understand, and I think with Evander you can do both, and this half and half might actually work. What I'm most excited about, honestly, is having the options that they can't just eliminate Denke, which is exactly the same thing we're going to try to do versus DC, right? We know DC's got this star player, and so throw two center backs on him, or maybe give him some midfield help. But either way, you're going to see a lot of double coverage, and that's what we saw on Denke because they go, oh, they don't have a Vander. Oh, well, we'll let Orishano dance on the wing until he burns us. And then I honestly think that's where you get Santos being the threat because that's the guy they're letting free because they just look at his goals a game and go, all right, we'll let that guy have the ball. We'll let that guy
And,
take shots.
and he put the tap in. That's what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't pull a hammy, we're okay. Right, because when your front two is Denke and Baird, that's trouble, which is early in the season.
Yeah.
When
It's
Baird
why
is a,
Baird gets so many good looks and why he's had so many good shots and missed them all. But it's because that they're just rolling like they're going to put extra coverage on Denke. That's the $16 million man. So your other guy has to stand. That means somebody is not covered all the time.
and this all goes to Orishano being a wing back, right, historically. And I can't remember what he played in Argentina, but he's probably played a similar role where he's allowed to kind of, and that's what he did with Acosta, is that he just kind of traveled all over the pitch, grabbed the ball, beat a man, cut across the 18 or just outside the 18 until either he had a shot or somebody comes open and makes slots a pass, not necessarily a cross, just kind of either a slot pass or a shot. That's really what he's doing. But if he is up on the wing and playing like a true winger, is that he could come back, make a pass to Evander. Evander goes back to Orishano, passes it back, and then he can make his run. Then he can make his run. Then you've got what you got. You got your two center backs. Are two going to go with Denke and two going to go with Orishano and let Evander go unabated? So these are the things that we should be doing, but we aren't. And I don't think it's because of injuries and illness that we just haven't had a chance to actually practice this on the training pitch. So we are half old ball, half new ball, I guess is what I would say. Because right, and it's been very fascinating. Not this game, but the Nashville game where we started with a back three and realized that we needed to make some change, and we went to a back four. When was the last time we went to a back four? It's just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. We are trying new stuff. That's not you. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's we're not penciling this team on paper. You should be penciling in the same 11 and the same formation, and nobody should be surprised about anything. But I think that's that's our superpower this year is that we are flexible to go to a back three or back four based on who's in and who's out and who's feeling well and who's not. And that's really helping. I think it's helping us in the early season because nobody can just go, here's what they're doing, here's how they're always doing it. Because we're doing things differently because of necessity more than anything else.
Yeah.
When you put Baird in as a wing back, and you still end up with a result, that's a good day, not a bad day. And then now they don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you surprised by anything yet this year? Like, has anything caught you off guard?
Uh, Well, really, yeah. I thought Danke played really well, and but he's been shut down. Um, Orishano being off, I'm just glad that where we are with given. I guess the good surprise. It's a good surprise, not a bad surprise. Is that we've had so many injuries and illness, and we've been playing so many different formations, and we still have yet to put in our starting what I'd say a starting 11, and we're still coming up with results. That's a
Yeah,
good team. That's a
yeah.
sign of a good team, and I'm really surprised. If this was last year and Acosta was out for 7 matches, you would be losing your mind, and we'd probably have like 6 points. Uh,
Yeah, we did get really one-dimensional last year. I haven't thought a whole lot about that. I didn't even think that thought when Vander was out. I didn't think like, oh, this is the same as Acosta being out. But you're right.
it wasn't as dynamic, but we still managed to put the ball in the back of the net without Evander. That's a
Yeah.
great. That was
Maybe it's because I wasn't panicked about it. Like I wasn't like, oh, Vander's not in, I'm gonna panic. It was like, oh, Dinky's still in, we're all right. Or like,
And that's where the tandem of Orishano and Acosta is that Acosta would go all the way back to the defensive third and get the ball and make a
mm,
touch and get the ball back and get a touch and get the ball back, get to the 18, pass it to Orishano and get the ball back and then try to pass it back to Orishano or make a move, right? So everything from the defensive third, the mid third, the offensive third, everything ran through Acosta. Everything ran through Acosta. And when it worked, it was brilliant. And when it didn't, he'd throw his hands up and they're countering on us 5-on-3. And that's
yeah,
not a good thing. And we're not seeing that anymore.
yeah.
So we're playing like a team, not running through one man. So when one man is out, next man is up. And that's what that is really, I think, surprising. That is my big surprise. Do you have any surprising things so far this season?
I think I was a little surprised with the slow start, but now looking at the standings, we played all the best teams right off the bat. We just didn't know they were the best teams. So like Philly, I expected Philly to have a big fall this year, and they just somehow Phillied their way out of it again because somehow I mean they don't spend any money, but they always end up being a top team. So that's wild to me. They have a new coach, so I was still surprised. Charlotte, not surprised. I am surprised at how quickly Charlotte gelled. But looking at those early games, it's like, well, we played Philadelphia number 3, Charlotte number 4. So we struggled. But I think I want another shot at it. We're not going to get one anytime soon. The best team we play in the next bit is Chicago at 7. I think we
Which
have a New York City at 11, DC at 12, KC. I don't know much about the Western Conference, but oh yeah, it looks like they're 14th. So
Yeah.
we're playing a lot of bottom of the table teams here. So let's might as well while we're hurt do that. I want to see how we do against a top tier team again. Only because we looked a little weak against the press at the start of the year, and our midfield seemed to struggle to figure out a way to get the ball to Evander and end up top. So that's what surprised me the most. But we might have it fixed. We need to play somebody solid to figure it out.
Well, like I said, I would like to have all of our guys in the lineup and play for 90 minutes, and have Hagelin come off the bench and Yu Kubo come off the bench, and have everybody knowing what their role is and how they do it, as opposed to a patchwork of what we're doing. I mean, it's masterful from Pat Noonan, and it's timing is everything, right? If we had to play Columbus and then enter Miami and then Charlotte at home, and then
Mm,
Orlando for the next 4 weeks, given where we've been and how many games we've played and everybody's kind of wore out or whatever, that would be really hurtful. So it's nice that we're playing lesser opponents, or on paper lesser opponents.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. You still got to fight for it every week, but um, unless Austin is a top team, which I don't know. Austin's 4th. Okay, so the next time we play a top 5 team is May 10th.
There you go. And by that time, I would think that everybody, including Miazga, should be back. I don't know where Miazga is training, is from what I've heard. He was with the group. I don't think he's ready. I don't even know if he can go 45. I think Evan Laura was ahead in the center back chart last week.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
we'll see, and you'll know because they'll put him in. Supposedly, he had a 10-minute. Pat Noonan said he had a 10-minute limit, which means he never, he wasn't going. But if he can do a 25, 30 minutes, then I think we'll see. We'll start to see him more.
yeah, and if you're going to do that, I would do it in the second half. I would put Haglin in the first half, and then Miazga in the second half, and see where we're at.
He
And
has to be ready to go though, like mentally. Like he's
yes,
sat so long, and you know that guy. He's got like a fire in his belly. So
he tore every ligament in his knee. I can tell you I've had a knee surgery, and it was a minor knee surgery. It took me a year to get to get better. I mean, 6 weeks to be I'm healed, but a year before I felt like, oh yeah, I can actually do things on it, and I'm not even an athlete anymore. I tearing all of your ligaments. That's why it takes a year for top athletes to come back. He'll be there. I think he will be. I mean, if
yeah,
you look at Haglin and the injuries that he had and how well he's come back, he's going to come back. He'll be fine. It's just going to take time, and that's what we
yeah.
need.
Anybody else, I would say, no way on earth that guy goes sliding backwards, chasing a ball anywhere near the goalpost again. But since it's Miazga, I think he would risk his life the very next first game back.
That pitch was the worst pitch. Vancouver's pitch was or San Jose's pitch was the worst pitch. And like Charlotte, so this is what I said. I know that you're catching up on things and stuff, but that's
Yeah,
what I said is that we don't play well at Charlotte's pitch. That's a football pitch. That is not
yeah,
a soccer pitch. That's a football pitch. It's astroturf. It's fake turf. Whatever you want to call it. The ball bounces weird. It's not grass bouncing. It's turf bouncing, and it takes an acquired taste to do that. And we may or may not have turf fields, but I
mm,
don't think we just don't play well in Charlotte, and I don't think it's the team. I think it's more the surroundings, and the pitch is smaller.
mm.
And this team traditionally struggles on small pitches, like NYCFC, right? They play on turf, but it's what 10 by 15 feet, I think.
Yeah,
It's a futsal. It's a futsal pitch, but
yeah,
you've got 11 on 11. It's just crazy.
yeah. I'm
Uh,
going up there this year to the Mets Stadium this time around, not the Yankees, not Yankee Stadium. So, but I imagine it's still just as tiny though.
I'm going to Chicago in 2 weeks, and I'm excited to do that.
Is that at Soldier Field?
Yes,
So yeah, there's
and
another
that should
football
be
pitch.
regular grass, so
Is it?
that's a good thing. Yeah,
Oh, good for
and
the
it's
Bears.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that should be an easy drive. It's apparently according to Google, it's only a 4 hour drive to Chicago. So uh, I'll take it. And so
Yeah.
yeah, so we're going to go up next week. But yeah, this coming week we have Atlanta. They've been crushed. Their chance to sell the team sounds like our baseball team. They haven't scored more than I don't think they've ever scored more than one goal this season. Their goal differential is -8. Uh, their 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 last result was 2-1 against a good Columbus team. Apparently, I guess they're good. Well, they're as of right now because Inter Miami has a game in hand,
Hmm.
up by one. Uh, but I'm looking at a one, or if Evander's playing a 2-0 2-0 victory. What do you think? What does it look like to you?
Yeah. For some reason we just don't see one of those teams yet this year that piles on the goals and beats the team handedly. So I'm with you. I think we do win. I think we win mildly. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just do another 1-0 squeaker personally.
Yeah, that's fine. Really, 1-0, 2-1. I
You're
would.
on the road too, so they're not going to be hauling butt trying to score 6 goals. I don't know how San Jose did it, but good for them.
Well, they were that was at home, right? So that was San Jose at home.
Yeah.
The DC does not travel well, apparently. It doesn't look like they play very well at home if with a 0-0 draw with Montreal. I think it's going to be another one of these. This is a team that Cincinnatians love. This is a blue collar team. This is a grinded out team. At the end of the day, when you look back at how many points we have, you don't go, oh, well, they only, they toughed out an 85th minute goal, or they got a PK in the 90th minute to win those. Nobody cares. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. 3 points is 3 points, and it's gutting out results, and that's what we're doing right now. This team is good enough that they should be cruising, but what is great about this team is that they're not fully healthy. So they're going to gut things out. And key players who we're going to need in the playoffs, players who are going to be tired in October and November and December, are going to have to be subbed off after 60 minutes or 45 minutes, and we're going to have to put somebody in. We want to nurse a 1-goal lead going into conference finals. You don't want to feel like, oh, we can't take that guy out, right? So if you take out Hidebe and put in Hagelin, you don't want to go, oh crap, I don't like that move. You're like, okay, we're fine. Yeah, I'm glad Hidebe is tired. It's time for him to come out. Hagelin can make that coverage. We feel fine with that. And that's what we're doing. We're getting the players that we need, the key players who aren't going to be playing starting minutes in October, vital minutes and vital efforts and contributions here in April and in May so when it comes into October and November, that you feel confident as a fan, as a coach, as a player, that this guy's going to be able to handle it.
Yeah. Oh man, I think overall it's just one of those games. Get down there, do the job, get if this will be 3 in a row, 9 points straight. So sets you up so well, even if you have another loss or a draw against a team you shouldn't, like a Sporting KC or New York, that statistically we should. 9 points can erase a lot of damage though.
And that's what it is that this team believes in itself. They believe in each other. This is the kind of adversity you don't want to have, but when you do and you get the results, you can tell that the fans are into it, the players are into it, the coach and staff is doing it. Everybody's doing maximum effort because we know once we get everybody, we'll be fine. And I've been saying that since February. I didn't think it was going to take this long, and yet it's still going to because of the things that we're dealing with. But I think it's great. I think if you're an FC Cincinnati fan, rejoice. Rejoice in the blue collar, gritty Cincinnati style of sport team that you like. You like the Reds doing the little things, the dirty things. That's what this team does. That angle. Making those slide tackles and the look on his face after he did that fired me up, made me want to go out there and play. Because that was like, he didn't just tackle it. He was like, get out of my way, get out, give me the ball. I'm going to go the other way. And that's the kind of the player and team. And usually you think of particularly European players as not having that kind of blue collar mentality. But I think the coaching staff has it. I think the players have it, and it's bubbling up, and this team is going to be special. But we just don't know it yet. I don't even think they know it yet, but I feel it. I mean, when you win a game like that, yes, it was 1-0 against a team you probably should have beaten, but with the players out, the conditions, I thought the pitch was spectacular for the amount of rain that we got. Why are you not excited about this team? That's what I would say. That's my question to you fans out there. If you're not excited, why are you not excited? This is the team that you want. This is a Cincinnati team through and through. That's why Cincinnati is orange and blue. I had to make the rhyme. I just had to.
Yeah.
Well, that's just about all the time that we have. Any final thoughts, Boston, before we leave?
Just to pile on to your thoughts, these are the Carl Linder years, and I think someday when we have different ownership, for those of us young enough to see the next owner, I think we will truly miss the years that we just go out and buy a $16 million striker because we can. And so enjoy it. Yeah. You brought up the Reds. The biggest difference here is every year we have a shot. Every year we will probably be in the playoffs. So like these are the years to watch FC Cincinnati because we're going to put our heart, soul, and money into it. The day will come. I hope not. But it's possible the day comes where we have an owner that's like, man, you guys can have the league minimums, and then you just have to hope you get lucky.
I certainly hope not. I certainly don't. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, that's what the Reds are.
We spent the money, but we didn't know how to do it. And then we got Chris Albright and Pat Noonan. And it's like, no, here, I need you to spend the money, but here's the player that you need to spend the money on. If Chris Albright says, I need $15 million for this player, you're gonna give him the money because you know that 9 times out of 10, he is right.
Yeah. I just can compare and contrast it. If you're going to pick a Cincinnati sports team to watch, pick the one that goes all out. Yeah.
And that's where you're going to get it. So Saturday, 7:30 is we're playing in DC. Start of a 2-game away series, and soon we'll be having some fans also on this podcast. Nice. But for right now, for Boston Brazel, I am Matt Warman for FCC Supporter Square. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining FCC Supporter Square. The hosts are Matt Warman, Boston Brazel, and Mark Suffolk. The intro song is Quick on the Holster by the Stone Bunnies, and the ending song is Awesome Sauce, also by the Stone Bunnies. Thank you for listening. Please join us again.